Hey everyone, welcome to another round of Canje Plays. We're back and continuing our playthrough of Maximum Apocalypse. Okay, so the big thing I'm trying to do here is, as I'm playing this, I am basically turning this into a legacy-based game, like homebrew legacy style, where I'm slowly introducing different aspects of the game as we go through, and I want to play through the scenarios that my Naden team made to go through the first mission, and then moving into Wasted Wilds, and then there is side missions that we can play and different items that are added on, but we'll get there. What I've been doing is, just like I said, slowly introducing things, slowly building things out to what they should be. This time I'm going to be introducing tribes for us to play through as we go through this. There's also one of the things that I want to correct, and like I said, as I'm building this, I'm just kind of feeling out how a legacy game would feel, but it is working out really well. The Rock Manor games pretty much had a legacy game, they just had to take it to that effect, and I'm going to do that in a homebrew style. So we're not for the last game. If you're following along, the one thing I did not do was I should have shuffled the Surgeon ally card into the monster deck, because when we were trying to get the scientists to the hospital, we would have run into the Surgeon or the ability for us to gain the Surgeon. So I'll just be adding that to the rules, and when it's all said and done and we play through it all, I am going to post these rules on BGG for people who are interested in playing a Maximum Apocalypse Legacy game. If Rock Manor Games decides that's what they're going to do and create it, then I will take it down and let them do what they're doing, because they are better game developers than me, and I am not going to stand in their way. So before I begin, I just want to say thank you to my patrons, my YouTube subscribers, and if you're neither, just coming in to hang out, thank you and welcome as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new rules of what tribes are and how they function. Okay, so this is the new tribe that we're going to be adding, which is the Marauder tribe, and this will be the first one, adding the tribes segment to this. This is something that came in Wasted Wilds, but we're going to add it here to see how it goes. What you'll find in here is that you'll get this track. Usually, if you're playing just a regular game, this is where the marker would start. And you'll get this lovely marker, a little bit bigger than what's on there, but you put it on that track. And based on things that occur, you can move down or up that track, and different things will happen when you run into Marauder tribe monster cards that you pull. For instance, this one. You'll notice it has the Marauder tribe symbol, and these effects will happen if you run into this Marauder tribe person, right? This remnant. What ends up happening is you can spend an action and either discard one scavenge card or an equipped gear card that you have, not one that you have in your hand, but that you've already equipped down on the board. If you do that, you will move this track to the left. Once it gets to allied and trade, they actually become your buddy. So every single time you run into a Marauder tribesman or anyone who's part of a tribe, they will deal this damage not to you, but to the monster to their right, just the one monster to their right. So they can actually become helpful for you, like semi-allies with the potential for them to go bad at some point, but just allies at the time. You will also find that you can spend an action to rearrange how they are in the lineup. So if they're already at the end of the line, you can spend an action to rearrange, and you can rearrange them however you want to do. When they get to weary, what they'll do is that should the monster come out, they'll attack you once and then run away. So basically, they'll hit you for this monster, this remnant here would hit you for 4, and then it would be discarded. So when you get to angry, irate, or enraged down here at the battle, oh, it's on. They are going to treat themselves like regular monsters and punch you in the face. So you'll have to deal with however that goes through. There are things that move the track backwards, but there are some that are to the right. There are things that can move the track to the left by the actions I just told, which is called a parlay action to try to help them. But you can move it closer, and you want to get into the zone because it keeps it pretty fresh. If for whatever reason they get down to this enraged section with this lock, that means that it's locked for the scenario. So you're just gonna take it. They hate you. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's locked in. So if they make it there, that is bad news because every single monster card that is a tribesman will be attacking you for no reason. If you want to play for a higher difficulty, instead of discarding a scavenge card, you can discard an antidote or medical supplies, and that's what's going to push this up. So for this playthrough, I won't be playing with this side presently. However, I plan to switch to this side in the legacy playthrough as we go through. So I just wanted to make sure that you understood that this is two-sided, and we will be playing with both sides in this playthrough. But when we start off with first the tribes, it will be on this side. And I'll add that in. I'm building a sheet of like unlocks and envelopes and all these things that you'll unlock as you go through, with a little bit of stuff that I'm not adding in this playthrough just to give you that legacy feel. But we'll see how it goes from there. So that is the new one that's being added. So how this tribes board's going to work is, you remember this clock that just kind of ticks around. Right now it's dealing with how monsters move when we get to that symbol. When it spins around to this symbol on the tribe symbol, it's actually going to move this to the right. So as time ticks on, the tribe's starting to get a little bit upset with you, so it's always going to move back one that way. So you have to try to keep it up, but there is ways for it to move back, and this is the way that it does that. So not only here says monster movement, we're now adding this feature on the board which says how tribes treat you, how all the tribes are going to treat you, because more tribes will come out as we play this game and see how it goes. So just to keep that in mind. We also have shuffled in the scientist and the surgeon to the monster deck, and I'll give these a shuffle before we start playing, but that means that these allies can come out and help. So let's talk about allies for a second. Okay, so for allies now, this is the new one also that it should have been added in the last scenario, and that's where I put my notes for when I do the full write-up of the legacy for this. But when allies come out and you draw an ally card, this card comes into your space as if it's a monster that is engaged with you. However, it's just waiting for you to do something about it. You can kill them, they have 11 health, or you can, basically what it says is you have to discard scavenge cards totaling the number that's up there. So right now it's gray, which means any scavenge card will do, but you'll have different ones that pull up red. For instance, our newly acquired surgeon says that you have to discard 2 red scavenge cards to acquire this ally. Once you acquire this ally, this goes into your play area. It actually adds to your bag slots. So it's a way to build out bag slots, but it goes into your play area as an equipment card that goes down. You then gain the baggage addition, so it adds to your bag size. So mine would go from 6 to 7. And then you also gain a new action, which for her, short range, restore 2 health to the target. And for the scientist, take a card from any discard pile and put it at the bottom of the corresponding deck. So you can add those in as well. So they can take damage also, which means you can assign damage to them if you don't want to take it yourself. So they can just kind of deal with what's going on out into the world. When they die, they're not removed from the game as an ally state. They are just discarded from the monster deck, and they'll get shuffled in every scenario. Also, how I'm dealing with this is, as I find allies that get shuffled into the deck, you can also basically play these characters as well. So for instance, I have the ally hunter card. If I choose to switch from the hunter in my playthrough to the surgeon or the scientist, then I will take their card out of the ally deck and shuffle the hunter card into, take their cards out of the monster deck and shuffle the hunter into the monster deck, if that makes sense. So this is something I'm just keeping. Like I said, I'm messing with it, seeing how it goes and seeing how it plays. Okay, we're ready to dive back into mission 4. This is just the addition of what's being added as part of this legacy series, and so we'll see how it shakes out. Okay, so for these missions, in terms of this log, and I'll change a lot of this verbiage as I'm building this thing out, but for missions 4 to 6, you have the option of treating the military remnants and marauders in this set as a tribe, which we are as part of the legacy play. The mutants and mutant rats are not considered part of the tribe because we have the symbols of what that is, and that's been shuffled in. If you choose to treat the marauders as tribes, set their hostility to irate. So we'll take our hostility marker and we'll put it on irate for what they're going to be at the start of it says set their hostility to irate at the start of each mission. So every mission, that's where they're going to start, and we're going to move through there. I think I'm going to make it a little bit difficult in the legacy part for you to get up to allied, but there is still potential for you to do that. But we will still stick with the rules for this and how these work every single play to see how things go. We take out some map tiles, so a lot that we've been seeing, and we're going to add some new ones, and then we'll get our story. So as you weave your way through abandoned cars on the highway, you peer in the rear view mirror to see a bright flash of light. The explosion roars and rumbles before only a mushroom cloud remains where the city once stood. Good thing we got out of there. The city is ash. Winter is around the corner, and you're not going to be able to make it much farther if you don't stock up on supplies and hole up somewhere safe. So that's prelude to what another unlock's going to be, not in this one, but the following. Mission setup. Remove the boss cards and shuffle the remaining mutant monster cards together to create the monster deck. So we're no longer dealing with zombies. We're now dealing with mutant zombies. This is awesome. Humanity, great job. Place the objective A and B at least 4 spaces away from the van and at least 3 spaces away from one another, which they show at the bottom here on how to build this up. So if we look over here, our mission objectives, we've got quite a few on this one. Find the shelter tile, collect warm blankets and coats, which means objective A, collect firewood, kindling, and flint, which is objective B, collect 1 food card per player and 1 fuel. So now we need food and fuel, deliver all collectibles to the shelter tile, and then return all players to the shelter tile and eliminate all monsters attached to players. And these will occur because this is the stop when the shelter is revealed. The bosses of the boss monsters are going to get shuffled into the monster deck, which is bad news. And then we'll see what happens after this goes through. Okay, and through the magic of television, we've got ourselves all set up here on the board. We've got our starting card here. We are playing with the hunter. I was going to switch her out, but then I was like, no, this kind of makes sense to be her, might be her final one. We'll see. But I like playing with her, and especially since we've shuffled in the allies to the deck, it actually makes it okay in variable so it doesn't feel so samey all the time. So we've also set to irate. We've started our tribes one there. We've shuffled all the decks. Everything's ready to go. We're just going to draw our 4 cards. We're going to see how our hunter is going to act before to see how she's going to play, and then we'll check out her card. So let's see what she drew. All right, her first card is going to be Machete. So short range, deal 3 damage. We've seen that before. Her second card is going to be the bow, mid range, deal 2 damage to a target. We got a resourceful to get gears from discard, and another resourceful as well to get more gear. Okay, so how we begin, first of all, we deal with, as we're setting up regular play now, everybody gains a monster to the face to start, and then we'll basically roll and keep spawn monsters and keep going. So let's see what monsters we got to start with. Our monster card is going to be, oh, great. I shuffled this deck, and great. So 10 health, hits for 4. When I draw this card, discard an equipped gear card or suffer 4 damage. Well, it looks like I'm suffering 4 damage because that's how that plays. Awesome. Just awesome that I pulled that first. Okay, so that was fun. Then let's roll for spawn. Just don't roll a 6. Don't roll a 6. What I roll? I rolled a 9. Okay, thank God. All right, I saw 5, and then I could only see 1 pip, and I was like, no, this is going to be a short game. But, yep, that's what we rolled. So now we're ready to get into it. So first thing, my first action is I'm going to put down the machete. And then my next 3 actions, it's going to be 3, 6. Ooh, it's not enough. That's only 9 health. Well, if I'm going to take the hit from him, let me get everything else set up. Let's see. We're going to, let's do 2 here. That's going to be 6 damage on you. Let's just make it the 3. And let's make it 9. So I just have to hit you with 1 action. But that, all 4 of my actions go there, unfortunately. And that ends my turn. So it's going to be the Remnant's turn, who's going to, because he is irate with me, he's going to attack me and hit me, taking me down to 16. Yeah, this is no bueno. Okay. Oh, and then I increase my hunger by 1. And then we're gonna roll for monsters. So the game's getting a little tougher now. That's 12. We're okay. That's gonna take up 1. We're gonna draw a card, which is my crossbow, which is good. And then we will get all of our actions back. Okay. Well, I am going to spend 1 action to kill you because you've hit me twice so far. 4 damage each. That's hard. Okay. This is my first action. My second action is I'm going to recon. So I'm going to recon those 2 tiles to see what we got. Let's take a look. Okay, our first location is going to be tunnels to the right. And let's see, that's going to be on the east side. So we found some tunnels as we're driving into whatever hellscape we're driving into. And our southern tile will be more tunnels. Lots of tunnels, so we're driving through a lot of tunnels. Gotcha. Okay, so that was the first 2 actions. My next action is going to be to move. So that's a move action. And then my final action, in for a penny, right? I mean, I'll take punishment, but let's go ahead and move down here. I'm just hoping I find something that I can scavenge. So let's find out what this tile is. Okay, that southern tile that we're moving into blindly. What do we got? Oh, man. Cool. Worst option possible. Okay, well, we moved into that city street and we have to draw a monster. So let's see what our monster is. Don't be another remnant. Please don't be. Oh my gosh. This is fantastic. Discard and equip gear or take 4 damage. I don't want to take 4 damage because I'm already going to take 4, which means I take 8. That's not good. So I got to discard the machete. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh boy. Maybe I should take the 4 because if I discard it, don't take any damage, he's going to hit me for 4. Then my next action, I have to play some type of gear to be able to fight him, and then I'll only gain 9, to which he'll hit me for 4 again. So I don't think there is any possible way for me to fight this. I think I got to keep my card equipped, and I'm going to take 8 damage. Jeez. Okay, well, that ends my turn. All right, well, I'm not discarding, so I'm going to take 4 more damage, going down to 12 health. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. That is not good. I got 1 action left. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna hit him for 3. It's gonna cost me 3 actions to kill him next round. Wow, this got really hard. Okay, so that's gonna end my turn. Yeah. Monster turn, he's gonna hit me for 4, knocking me down to 8 health. Cool. My hunger's gonna tick up. Man. Okay, so that's gonna end that. So let's take all our actions back. Oh my gosh. Roll for monsters. Don't do it to me, game. That's a 10. There's a 10 there, so that's gonna put a monster token there. And then we're gonna take the time 1 more. Oh boy. And then we're gonna draw a card. My motorcycle. Okay. Cool. And now it's my turn. So I have to get rid of him. So that's 6, 9, 12. Just to get rid of him. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I got to recon. I need to find. I actually not recon. I'm going to scavenge. I need something. I need help. Okay, so let's see our scavenge card. Walkie-talkies. Choose another player to take an action immediately once this is played down. That other player can be me. So this is okay to play in solo mode. Okay, for the first time in forever, no monsters are in my face, but my hunger ticks up to 4. I need to find a green tile. Green is where food is. So that's 4. So let's go ahead and roll. Don't do it to me, game. Don't do it. That's an 8. Okay, there's no 8s around. Take up time by 1. Draw a card. Okay, a machete. All right, so if something comes out, we can at least deal with that. And that's going to, then we get all of our actions back and we can continue doing our 4 actions. So first action, I'm going to recon these 2 tiles. So let's take a look and see what we find. The tile to the east is a power plant. Discard all food cards and you become poisoned. No, that is bad. That is bad. That is awful. Our next card is going to be why is this game so hard? Why is this game so hard right now? Okay. So poison is a new condition. It basically says place a poison counter on the target card. At the end of the player's turn, that target suffers damage equal to the number of poison counters of it, and this is considered a status effect. So you would need the antidote to be able to cure this poison. So another new mechanic that's added in. So that's awful. That's just awful. All right. Well, I mean, jeez. No matter where I go, I'm going to gain poison or I'm going to fight a monster. So instead, I'm going to scavenge. So let's do that. Hopefully I'll find food in here. Okay, our scavenge card comes out as blue. It's fuel. Yes, I will equip it immediately because we do need fuel and we need 1 food and food to be able to end this scenario. Okay, so with the fuel fully equipped, we then get to deal with we then get to see how we're going to deal with this. Now this says when it's revealed, draw a monster, so we're okay. So I'm going to play a card to move here, and then I'm going, because I don't want to end my turn there to draw another marauder who's probably waiting for me, I'm going to move south here blindly. So let's hope this is better. Okay, so our southern tile is going to be, yes, immediately resolve a free scavenge action on red. Thank you, game. Thank you. Oh, thank you, game. Thank you. We found food at the gas station. Those shrimp from the gas station, they're really gonna pay off for us. Okay, so we're at the gas station on our last action. It gave us a free scavenge action, and we're okay. We're okay. All right, so let's go ahead and no monsters bothering us. Tick up hunger to 5. Woo! Then we gotta roll for monsters to see what's gonna come out. That's a 7. There are no 7s here, so we'll deal with 7s in a second. Once we reveal everything on the board, that's when 7s will come into effect on how they work. It'll be like the last mechanic of the night board, but for right now we're going to tick that once, draw a card, which is a backpack, put that in our hand. 2, 4, 6, 8. Our hand is full, so we have to discard a card. I'm going to discard the motorcycle. I don't think we need it, so we're all good. Okay. So let's see, we gain all our actions back. It is our turn. Okay, so my first action is going to be to eat this food to basically reduce hunger down to 1. My second action is going to be my second action, we're going to put down the walkie-talkie, which will let us gain an extra action if we need to. My third action is going to be to, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what we could put down here. My third action is going to be, let's recon. There could be another open field. There could be another city street. There could be a myriad of terrible things. Let's just go ahead and move. I want to find green. That's my big one. I want to find green. So let's go ahead and move into this tile and see what's there. Okay, this tile is going to be another gas station for a free scavenge action. Yay! So we'll grab that, and we've got, buddy, just in case we get poisoned, we've got an antidote to help cure us. Good times. I was going back and forth on whether I was going to scavenge here or move here, and I decided to just risk it, move, and see what'll happen. Okay, my final action, recon. Let's see what's here and what's here to see what's going on. The northern tile with A on it, the A star on it, is a farm. Oh, and that's the green we're looking for, so that really works out. The tile to the east is going to be the police station. Oh, we've got red, green, and blue close by. Oh boy, we're going to make use of a lot of this. Okay, so what started off pretty harsh isn't too bad. So that'll end our turn. No monsters in front of us, so we'll take this up to 2. We will then roll to see what monsters spawn. What do we got? We've got a 9. 9. Are there any 9s on here? 8, 3. Yes, there is one 9 right there. And there we go. We are solid. We are styling. Things are good. Okay, so we will then take time, draw a card, which is a bear trap. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, we have space for it. And then we will gain all our actions back to be able to use it. And we're good to go. Okay, so we will first, we'll pay an action to put down the bear trap because I'm tired of getting jumped by those marauders. The second, we're gonna move up here, and I believe it says that we have to use and spend an action to clear the objective. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna spend one action to clear the objective here. And it goes down here as a 1-slot item, and basically it says spend an action to clear the objective token. Hold on to the token or place it in your play area to indicate that it's holding onto 1 supply space. And this is going to be the warm blankets and old coats that we found at the farm. So that really works out. And then finally, we're going to scavenge this tile to see what we're going to find off this deck. Okay, so let's see what we found. More food. Thank you. We're doing so much better than we did before. Okay, so we found our first. We need to come over here and get this, but we're gonna mill this a little bit because we need to find medicine. Remember, we got to find one medicine. Is it medicine? I believe it is. We need to find 1 food and 1 fuel. So we need to at least have 1 food, 1 fuel. We've got something if we get poisoned from the nuclear fallout, and we've got food to keep us going. So we're good. Ends our turn. Boost this to 3. Then we roll dice to see what we're dealing with. So where monsters are spawning, that's a 7. We don't have to deal with that just yet, so we'll take this here. We haven't unlocked that on the night board yet to see what's going on. We'll draw a card. It is another bear trap. We'll ditch the backpack to make space for another bear trap because that's more important. And then we will gather back our 4 actions and decide what we're going to do. Okay, so for my first action, let's start clearing out some hand spaces. I'm going to put down the crossbow. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're full up with what's going into our hands. We can take as an action, choose another player to take an action immediately, but actually this probably won't work in solo. This will just have to be I might change the verbiage on that because it's like, okay, use an action to take another action. So I think I need to think about if this is going to be something that's in solo or not, and just say take it out if you're playing solo. But if you're not playing solo, take it, you can use this card as part of that. So it won't benefit me now that I'm thinking about it because it's an action to do another action, which is weird. I think for solo, I'll say if you have an ally in play, it can activate that ally for instead of using its action, which is what it would do. So I think that can still work, but let me think about it and see how it goes. Okay, so let's see. What do we have next? We have 3 more actions. We need to find food. So let's scavenge, see what we find. Hopefully it's not an ambush, so let's see what we get. Okay, what are we finding? Empty-handed. Sweet. Great use of an action. Okay, so that empty-handed has been discarded. We scavenged, which was great, which was just great. Let's, what are we gonna do? We can, I'm trying to think of what we can do presently. Let's go ahead and move down here and let's scavenge the red deck and see what we find. All right, the red deck will reveal, oh boy, fun game. So things are at their end. That's why we're not finding anything but empty-handed promises. And that's going to be our 4 actions. So we're done. No monsters in front of us. We're going to take this up to 4. Then we will roll our die to see what monsters spawn. We've got a 5. There's a 5 here. And I think that's the only 5 so far. We will take our time. Uh-oh, we're going to lock this. This is bad. And the only way you can race this is not you could do it at any time. You have to be engaged with them to do it. And then it'll take it up to what they are. So we need to run into a marauder, unfortunately. So we'll draw a card. Cover of Night. That's good. So we have enough to hold that. Then we will get our actions back and be able to do our actions. So I need to find a marauder. Yep, I need to find a marauder. So I will do an action to move over here. I'm not trying to sneak, so I will draw. Let it be a marauder, please. This is the first time I'm looking for an enemy. I love this game. I love this game so much. I love this game so much. When you need it the most, the game lets you down. All right, so so that's my first action. My second action is going to be to eat this food. So I'll reduce this back down to 1. My third action is to scavenge the red deck. So let's see what we draw. All right, what did we draw? We drew, ooh, food. Okay, well, that'll be that. Okay, so I got there. I got some food that I don't want to get rid of. And then finally, my fourth action, this is incredible. My fourth action is going to be, my fourth action, they're not part of my supply yet, so I'm gonna play resourceful as my fourth action, and I'm gonna take my backpack, which is a gear card, and put it directly into play. So I have my backpack, my bow, bear trap, walkie-talkie, all that good stuff, and my backpack gives me an extra slot. So now my slotting size is 7, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she doesn't count as a backpack slot, but adds to my backpack slot, which is going to be really, really good. Okay, so that'll end my turn. Tick up. She is engaged with me, but it's just kind of we ran into each other. We're a little weary of each other. This will go to 2. Let's go ahead and roll. Let's see what we get. We got another 7. Lots of 7s. This would be super bad in any other game. And you'll see why. Camouflage, that comes down. Okay, cool. And then I gain all my actions back. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so my first action is going to be to scavenge the red deck. So let's see what we find. Okay, so scavenging the red deck, we find spare parts. Cool, that will work. All right, so I'm going to discard the spare parts. That would have been higher hand size. I'll discard camouflage so I can keep it. And then I'm going to discard spare parts and antidote as 2 as an action to gain the surgeon as an ally. So she'll go here, and she will basically be what I used and I scavenged. So we got her as an ally. We paid her costs. She's now with us. And I'm going to use her action to heal 2, going back to 10. We needed that. I got beat up in the first round. I don't have to feed her, luckily. She's just like an automated, not hungry creature. But we are going to move for our final turn back over here to the gas station, because we can't run into another marauder, and that's unfortunate. So that's going to increase our hunger to 3. We are then going to roll, and that's another 7. We're rolling a lot of 7s. All right, this is going to tick here, which ticks them to enraged, and they are locked for the rest of the scenario as in hating us. Okay, then we draw a card, another resourceful, which we can hold, and finally, we'll get our actions back, and yeah, we've got an ally now with us. We're good. Let's go ahead and spend an action to move to the police station. We're then going to spend an action to recon. So let's take a look at these 2, top and bottom, to see what's there. Actually, I'll do the side because I need to get to that B. So we'll do top and side to see what's there. The tile in the north will reveal A gas station. Wow, everything's just so centrally located. And finally, the tile in the east is an oasis. Ooh, if we end our turn here, we decrease hunger by 1. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I tell you what I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm going to move to the oasis, and my final action is I'm gonna heal again, going up to 12, and let's see what happens there. So end my turn here. We'll decrease this by 1. Okay, then no monsters engaged, so we bump it back up to 3. Then we're going to roll to see what monsters spawn. I rolled a lot of 7s. That's an 8. Okay, so there's an 8 here. Nope, that's a 7. 4 and 3. That is my 4th 7. So just to kind of let you know what's coming, 7s affect this clock. So just keep that in mind. And I've rolled 4 7s. So anyway, we're going to take it here. And then we're going to draw a card, a boat. 4, 6. Yep, we can fit that in, and that's fine. Then we will gain back all this. I mean, to me, ending my turn here makes it pretty decent for us not to starve during the day. So we'll do a recon of top and bottom to see. Oh, no, we're going to do this one and this one. Sorry. So let's see what we're finding in these locations. The southern tile will reveal the shelter. So we found the shelter. But remember, the rule says that as soon as the shelter is revealed, we're going to shuffle all the boss cards into the monster deck and reshuffle the monster deck. So let's get that going. Okay, so here are the 2 monster cards. We will shuffle them and the discard pile back together to form the new monster deck, and we'll shuffle these and place them with the magic of editing. Okay, we shuffle the deck. Oh boy. Okay, so that was the shelter, and then we did that one, and I think we were doing this one to see what was on here. So let's look and see for our recon. Okay, the eastern tile is going to be a bandit camp. So when we enter, oh boy, and they have the materials that we need. It makes sense. It makes sense. So let's deal with what we got to deal with. Okay, that was our scavenge action. Great. We're going to spend an action to move in here. We're going to discard the walkie-talkie. We're not using that as we should. But we will discard the walkie-talkie. Even then, like, its action's weird for solo. I think I might pull that from solo. So then we will spend an action to pick up the B tile, and the B objective is basically firewood, kindling, and flint. And so now we just need, I think we're good. I think all we need to do now is get back to the shelter. So find the shelter, collect A, collect B, collect 1 food card, collect 1 fuel card, and deliver all to the shelter and get to the shelter, and we're good. So I think we're good. So we'll just go ahead and move to the oasis and end our turn, reducing our hunger by 1. No monsters engage with us, increase that by 1. And yeah, depending on this roll, we'll either win or have to deal with a monster. So let's see what happens. We rolled a 3. There is a 3 at the farm. So we rolled a 3 at the farm. That's where we stand. We take time 1. Okay. We draw a card, which is a snare. I will discard. I'm going to discard the crossbow to keep the snare in hand. Then we gain our actions back. I think we won this scenario. I think it started off pretty rough, but I think we're okay. So we'll move down to the shelter, and we have to discard 1 food, 1 fuel, objectives A, objectives B, and find the shelter. And we did it. Oh man, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, find the shelter tile, collect objective A, collect objective B, 1 food, 1 fuel, deliver all of it to the shelter, and return all players to the shelter tile and eliminate all monsters. We did it. We won. Hey, look at that. What started off horrible actually worked itself out in design at the end. It's clear that the radiation and the scientist's serum have affected the zombies in bizarre and unforeseen ways. They've been twisted into hulking mutants. It doesn't help that all the remnants of the government and military are sweeping the area and shooting at anything that moves. For now, at least, you have a roof over your head and what you need to survive the nuclear winter. So that is going to end this playthrough. All right, thanks everybody for joining. We did okay. We unlocked tribes, so you can see, but that was locked for this scenario. What we'll end up doing is we're going to be adding a new feature or a new mechanic to the game next game as well, and a new ally that's going to get shuffled into the monster deck. But I'm actually going to probably play with that ally and have this be an ally that's shuffled into monster deck, giving our hunter a little bit of a rest as her story comes to an end and she goes into an ally form for the new one that's going to be coming out. But you'll see that on the next playthrough. I hope you're all enjoying this. I think this game is fantastic and fun, and I'm hoping you're having a good time with me as I build out. Slowly you're seeing the creation of a homebrew legacy game that's coming out. So, but if you have any comments or questions or anything, put them in the description below, and we'll see where it goes from there. But until then, I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you could do about it. Bye bye.